Hello folks, the Collinger here bringing another nerdy video. So we are back with some more Dragon Age Origins. We are now heading to the party camp just after saving the Circle Tower of Mages and getting some new gear. And we're going to be I'm planning on heading us eventually back to Ozamar to turn in a quest. So let's go get it.
You are wise to invest in the effectiveness of your followers.
So there we go. Now we have some interesting gifts to hand out. So first, let's start off with this one. There we go. Done more again.
What? You found Flemeth's grimoire? But when I spoke of it to you, I did not truly hope... This is a most fortuitous event. You have my thanks. I will begin study of the tome immediately. I suppose something is deserved for all your efforts, is it not? I do not intend to squander this opportunity to learn more than Flemeth wished me to know. This should be interesting.
Okay, so we have to wait a while before we get paid for that. Alright, we have other items to hand out. Oh, actually, I believe all my other gifts are actually back at our little fortress. Hold on. Actually, before we do that, I might as well gear up Morrigan. She can have the dragon's barrette. +2 magic, +6 defense, +2 willpower. Yeah, give her that. She can have the apprentice card as well. Give her this, boost her thing. Now the only problem is this will reduce her hostility, so which means she could be more likely targeted now. Anything for you? Saw sword is significantly better than Oathkeeper, but Oathkeeper can be enhanced. We can give him the Templar helm. Right, +3 armor, so that means his armor is effectively actually 450. So yeah, we're actually going to ignore that. No, we don't want that for Alistair. It might be worth giving the Shadow Belt to Ting. Because as we learned, we only need to have this in our inventory. We actually don't have to have it equipped. Beastman's Dagger. 560. Compared to his offhand weapon. Critical and backstab damage. This has armor penetration. It's worth holding on to because if we were controlling Zev more personally, it would be worth it. But we're not. We need to go file our gifts.
Indeed.
Yes.
minute we get the glitch where it doesn't bring us to the world map. Instead, bring us there. So let's see here. We can turn them all over as well where we're at. I think it might quarter range. It might be time to visit Denver, because we actually haven't visited that location yet since switching over to this. But we do have quests involving Ozmar, so I'm actually going to focus on Ozmar for now. After this.
I have been studying Mother's grimoire. Do you wish to hear what I have found? 'Tis not what I expected. I had hoped for a collection of her spells, a map of the power that she commands, but this is not it. Disturbed? Yes, perhaps that is the right word. One thing in particular within her writings disturbs me. Here, in great detail, Flemeth explains the means by which she has survived for centuries. That is closer to the truth than you might think. Flemeth has raised many daughters over her long lifetime. There are stories of these many witches of the wilds throughout chastened legend, yet I have never seen a one, and always wondered why not. And now I know. They are all Flemeth. When her body becomes old and wizened, she raises a daughter, and when the time is right, she takes her daughter's body for her own. I do not know. Perhaps 'tis as she said. The Darkspawn threaten her as much as they threaten anyone else. Or perhaps she believes that this journey will make me more powerful. According to the tome, if the host is already powerful and trained in magic, it takes far less time for Flemeth to settle in. There is only one possible response to this. Flemeth needs to die. I will not sit about like an empty sack waiting to be filled. Flemeth must be slain, and I need your help to do it. Then what needs to be done is for you to go back to Flemeth's hut in the Kakari Wilds without me. If I am present when she is slain, I cannot be certain that she will not be able to possess my body right then, so I must remain at the camp. Confront her and slay her quickly. I doubt she will truly be dead even then, but it will take her years to find a new host and recover her power, if that is even possible. The thing I must have is her true grimoire. With it, I can defend against her power in the future. Everything else in her hut is yours. I am grateful. The sooner this can be done, the sooner it will set my mind at ease.
Okay, we just jumped straight into quests.
Something I can help with?
Okay, so let's sort out these gifts first, because we're definitely going to be bringing her with us. So we, her staff is tier 5, +1 magic. Okay, yeah, we're gonna keep her with that. As for everything else, she, in terms of mage gear, she already has everything she really needs. So So yeah, we're just going to. I'm just going to hand over the gifts to her now. Let's see. There should be some. What was her exclusive gifts? Oh yeah, here we go.
Oh, marvelous. Oh, marvelous.
I'll hold on to this one just to keep it safe. I know I lost some influence with some others, did I not? Okay, so Shale's the only one that I actually lost any kind of influence with.
What is your wish, Kadan? As you...
Actually, I should probably bring Alistair as my tank for fighting Flemeths, because as a mage, sorry, as a Templar, doesn't he have all those abilities that are anti-magic? So hold on, let's boost his strength. And I've been boosting his. Also another thing, I've been boosting his stamina as well. So let's see here. Let me read it. Templars are forces especially using control. Each Templar's melee hit against its enemy spellcaster drains its mana. Templar purges the area of magic, removing all dispellable effects from the bag, friendly fire possible. Templars learn to focus duty on duty gain life rate. Resistant comes straight down and works for me.
Such a force has not been seen since the collapse of the Tevinter Imperium.
So I feel like we're gonna tackle this first. So, but Alistair, ideally I would like to have maybe a bit more gear, but that's about it. Our inventory is almost filled up. And since everyone is because of that DLC, we might as well.
Yes.
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 Just for Tang. Actually,
Braska.
since we're dealing with
Indeed.
the Morgan, I'm gonna bring Archer. So that way, I want everyone.
Something I can help with?
I want people keeping their distance from the Morgan as possible. Not Morgan, Flemeths as possible. So yeah, she has maxed out those skills. Wow, I've been severely ignoring her things. Okay, Leanna is set to Archer. She has pretty much some decent abilities. Alistair's tactics is set to Defender. He has Holy Smite. Very few of his Templar abilities. Wow. Very little, even in custom. Even in Scrapper, he only has the 3 abilities. So, okay, we'll set him as Defender then. Let's see. Wayne is set to her support role, which is great. I don't know why that's. And so we're gonna go back into Soldier's Peak, drop off the gifts and some of these unique items. I think that's a unique item. Robes. It's weird since I know like when the fucking shop, you know, opens up. Like sorry, like it restocks. You can actually get like the gifts. Like it's ridiculous that they didn't patch them out. All right, on to Flemeths. We have a long journey. So we're cutting down through next to Lake Calenhad. There's our encounter. And I thought this was going to be a short video. Okay, this is quite clear.
Ah, a fellow traveller of the fair lands. Are you a seeker, perchance? My packs are light, but I have a tome of strange origin. The Deus V Eternus, rumoured to be the last message to a sinful world from the Maker himself.
Oh yeah.
Ah, will the wonders of this all too small a land never cease? Well, they will for you. Get them!
Enemy
Need to
ahead.
fight shortly.
Watch out!
You dare!
Sometimes.
As you said. It will be done. Very well. Of course. Now you see true power!
I honestly have no idea why.
My love?
Why are you not using your ball? You know, I'm taking them off you because you're supposed to be using range. Yeah, set. You know, I have a very good. Maybe this will keep you ranged. That is ridiculous. You set an archer to range. I set her abilities to range, and for some reason, the game's like, no. We'll just keep you using daggers. Sorry, a dagger. Even though like most of the abilities that you're told to use, you won't use. Oh my god. Alright, well at least we're going to be completing 2 quests. Here we go. It's time.
And so you return. Lovely Morrigan has at last found someone willing to dance to her tune. Such enchanting music she plays, wouldn't you say? Which one, I wonder? What has Morrigan told you? What little plan has she hatched this time? That she does. The question is, do you? Ah, but it is an old story. One that Flemeth has heard before, and even told. Let us skip right to the ending, shall we? Do you slay the old wretch as Morrigan bids, or does the tale take a different turn? It is a dance poor Flemeth knows well. Let us see if she remembers the steps. Come, she will earn what she takes. I'd have it no other way.
Can we even fight something like that?
Let us end this quickly! Right there! I will not falter! Things, it's pretty close now. Yeah, a lot of my spells are not used here. So maybe this just
All you've got!
It will be done.
You will pay for that!
Very well. It will be done.
You have forced my hand!
Alright, that's what it is then. Come and get it!
Let us end this quickly!
I am done. There we go.
The original intent of these elves. Okay. By the description, okay, you actually know, because I've been screwed over by games with their so-called descriptions in the past. I need to look these robes up. Give me a sec, folks. Robes of Possession. DOA. No, sorry, DAO. As the abbreviation is sometimes referred to as. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, no, these robes are perfectly safe. Okay, good. Again, like, I've been burned before by item descriptions. camp. Where are we at? We gotta go this way.
Mother's real grimoire, is it? I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds. I wish to ask a question of you. I wish to know your opinion of love. You and I have been intimate, for one. We have been close for some time now. You are impressive in many ways, and you even protected me from Flemeth without hope of reward. I feel anxious when I look upon you. I dislike this sense of dependency. 'Tis a weakness I abhor. If this is love, I wish to ascertain that you do not feel the same. Then we are both fools, and we need to do something immediately. I have allowed myself to become too close. This is a weakness for us both. You are not listening to me. Do not be such a fool. This is for your own good. I am not like other women. I am not worth your distraction, and you are not worth mine. You are impossible. Have it your way, but I will tell you truly now. You will regret it in the end.
And funny enough, as you can see there, folks, we get 0 negatives.
Your desire?
Like, I'm really glad that, like, again, it makes Morgan feel real, like the fact that, because, like, right, what she's feeling goes against everything she was told and how she was raised.
So, full of questions, are you? Now I have enough time to study Mother's grimoire to find a way to prevent her from stealing my body in the future. For she will be back. One day, I have no doubt of that. And if I cannot protect myself, one day I will track her down again in whatever body she inhabits, and she will die again and again if need be. But there is no need to think of such things now. I have you to thank for saving me, so let us return to the task of dealing with the Darkspawn, no? You should not be so... You have no idea what will happen in days to come to make such promises. Let us go. There is much to be done before... There is still much to be done. Your desire? So, full of questions. Your desire? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Discuss away.
Okay. Then that is it.
Something I can help with? Yes?
Her quest line won't be triggered until we go to dinner.
Something on your mind? Of course.
Alistair's quest line hasn't triggered yet, which is involved visiting his sister. We've completed Stan, and we've completed...
I got a moment, sure. Huh? What say you?
Zev, I don't know if he has a personal quest.
It's been a long day. Rest would be welcome.
Yes, of course. I am just a little weary. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken. Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. I have lived for such a long time, but there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I think I will be glad when I am done. Oh, I don't know. I really don't. Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower? You are younger than I, and your nerves yet have some steel in them. Did you feel any fear facing the abominations? The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was months before the nightmares stopped. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most. Every mage is vulnerable, no matter how accomplished or powerful. That is the first thing we learn, and overconfidence can lead to recklessness. One slip. All it takes is one slip, and everything you are is simply gone, replaced by madness. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say. Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is any way an abomination can be cured, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity. Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage remembers the person they truly are, then they are not an abomination. I never saw that. Thank you for showing me another way of looking at it. Irving told me about how you became a Grey Warden, and that unpleasant incident that occurred prior to your departure from the Circle. Yes, I'm sure you do, and I respect that. Irving told me he was relieved Duncan was still willing to recruit you, but that aside, you're a Grey Warden now, and perhaps I presume too much by saying this, but the Circle is proud of you. Do not squander this time trying to explain why Irving picked you. Accept it, and be the Grey Warden you're supposed to be. Sometimes it gives me comfort to think that everything will end up the way it's supposed to, that it will be all right. You were chosen. You survived the joining when others did not. Perhaps it was meant to be. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you? There's that, of course. But there's more to being a Grey Warden than killing Darkspawn and saving the world from the Blight. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others, about serving all people, whether elves or dwarves or men. As a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of men, and you guard them because their continued existence is more important than you are. Thus it is you who serves, not they. A good king, a true king who cares for his land, uses his power to rule firmly but fairly. He serves his people first and foremost. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant. If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear, still pond. The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. Think of how far they will go, how wide they will become, how will they affect the pond. But I've lectured enough for today. I should stop before I wear out my welcome. You're quite taken with each other, aren't you? Well, she's hardly discreet. The way she looks at you, it's as though she's completely forgotten there's anything of you above the waist. I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. She is a cunning woman, a maleficar. She will use you for her own ends. I am telling you what I see and what my instincts tell me. And even if the feelings you share are genuine, this affair may not be the best thing for either of you. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do? You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will. What's on your mind? I have watched you for a time, and perhaps I was wrong. There seems to be something special between the two of you. It doesn't happen often, but I see her smile to herself sometimes when she watches you. I think I was too harsh in my judgment before, and I am sorry. What you have may not last forever. Death and duty may part you, but love's worthiness is not diminished because of that. I should have seen this before. Instead, you learn to cherish every precious moment that you spend together, knowing that it may be the last. And for those of us watching, well, it brings warmth to these old bones to know that something so beautiful can be found in the midst of chaos and strife. What's on your mind? Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today. Well, thank you for your kindness, my dear. It certainly warms these rickety old bones. What's on your mind? Is something troubling you? You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight. And that gives me hope. Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old? Griffins. Alas, that seems to be the only thing people remember from the tales. The mighty flying mounts that bore the Grey Wardens into battle. Unfortunately, they've all passed back into the Maker's hand. So that wish will have to go unfulfilled. It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago. The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the archdemon was dead, and the last darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden. What's on your mind? No, you won't. I don't think so either. You would not have been happy living a dull, uneventful life, dying in obscurity. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are. I didn't. Not for a long time. When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have. It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers. I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason, and fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish. I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. So I left, but I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same. Not all priests choose their path. Some children are given to the chantry to raise and become initiates. The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty, and there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness. It isn't healthy to throw yourself at a pack of darkspawn either in order to save the world, so I'd say you're in no position to judge. You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice. What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability. It has been almost a year, hasn't it? Do you miss the tower at all?
Now, that is our first sense of timeline, so that means everything has taken place within 1 year from the start of the game.
I see. You can take a mage out of the circle, but you can't take the circle out of the mage. Or so Irving used to say. He was joking, but there is some truth to the statement. A mage never really leaves the circle, and for the rest of your life you will be seen as a circle mage. But you will always be a mage, especially in the eyes of others. You represent both mages and Grey Wardens, and your actions may reflect well or badly on both groups. Remember that. Oh, but listen to me go on. You start a conversation, and I just run away with it, don't I? I've been mentoring apprentices for so long, it's become something I do unconsciously. I don't know if I could stop even if I wanted to. What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability. The circle is in good hands. Irving knows what to do, and he doesn't need me underfoot. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostagar. There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it. The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. And after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the circle. Perhaps. What's on your mind? I will answer to the best. People don't become mages. They are born mages. The talent just surfaces later. I was brought there by the Templars, just like many of the other apprentices. I don't remember very much. I was very young then. I didn't have a family. I never knew my real parents. My earliest memory was of hiding in a hayloft on a farm, trying to keep warm. I was found, and the farmer's wife was kind enough not to send me away. But they had children of their own, and I was never made to feel welcome. The eldest son was the worst. He was always calling me a stray, and throwing anything he could get his hands on at me. And I don't know how it happened, but one day, he just found his hair on fire. Fortunately, there was a large trough nearby. He ran screaming, dripping head and all, to his mother. I was shut up in the barn, with a bowl of water and a crust of hard bread. The Templars arrived several mornings later. The barn kept me safe from the village children and the stones they would hurl at me. I was afraid, yes, but it could have been much worse. I'll never forget the moment the Templars led me into the entrance hall of the tower. I had never seen anything so grand in my life. I stopped being afraid then. I knew I was home. Well, that's about all there is to my tale. That's how I came to... What's on your mind? I will answer to the best.
Okay, so nothing extra there. So yeah, we'll head back to Ozamar. We'll try and do all our side quests that are in relation to Ozamar, and then yeah, then that's it. So I'm just gonna save my game real quick. to do all the dialogue stuff. But it is done. This is the Celtic Nerd, signing out. One name, one song.